Hey all, it's Jeff. Hey, quick project today, 5-minute shower head exchange. These should be hand tightened on. You should not need, like I had to try, channel lock pliers and pliers. Of course I use a rubber glove for the pliers when I grab the chrome. I don't want to crack the chrome off. Wouldn't come off without really being, had to really be physical with it. So I wound up having to use, if you can believe it, a 12-inch crescent wrench to get my shower head off, which is just, you know, really way beyond what should occur. So I was able to get it loose, and now I'm going to take it off. And in this case, I even took off the first little piece that came off separately. And then I've got this is now loose. So I'll get that all off. But I wanted to show you guys, if you haven't ever done this, again, should be hand tightened in the majority of cases. This is a metal housing, so I could see how they would probably tightened it with pliers earlier. But, you know, not typical. What I have here is just a plastic one that's going to go on. But what I'm going to try to do is put my glasses here, make sure I got all my tape clean. I'm taking off their plumbing tape that they would have really tightened around, and or I'll just add to it. That's probably what I'll wind up doing, is add to it here. And if you haven't used plumbing tape, it's something that looks like this here. It's comes in a spool, comes in different widths and different thicknesses. So think of when you put this on, it's going to go righty-tighty. I tend to waste some. I just break a big strip off. It's easier. So I'm going to go up here, just go righty-tighty, wrap it to the right, because that's how I'm going to put the new shower head on. Like this. Once it overlaps, it'll be fine. But this is essential. You can't do a shower head without plumber's tape. They come in different thicknesses and widths and colors. So typically for kitchen and bathroom plumbing, white is the acceptable. Then for if you're doing some different kinds of plumbing, there's a thicker gray tape which you can use as well. And then gas has its own. So now that's good. Let's do that. Take my shower head. I'm just going to hand tighten this up here. Get that to go on. Come on. I'm not getting it to seat. Come on. I bent this earlier, or distorted it a little bit. See. Why won't that go on? There it is. As you can tell, I don't edit my videos. No lipstick on this pig. So then I just tighten this by hand, and that's going to be good. If I notice a leak when I test this, then this head will pivot now. So that's the shower head. I'm about 2 minutes in, so you guys can do the same thing. Took me a couple minutes to get off. And the last thing I'm going to show you that I did here, is I had a couple of spots in the grout that needed sealed. And so I used what's called the grouts in between the tiles here. These are small lines, 1/8 inch or so. So you use what's called non-sanded grout. So think of grout as being flour. Think of sand as being sugar. You'd never mix, you'd have one fine grain and one heavy grain. You don't use something the size of sugar in these small things. You only use non-sanded, the size of flour. Make it like paste, smush it in, let it dry for 10 minutes, wipe it clean. So I did that. I sealed around the nozzles down here, all that. Did the whole thing in, I say 5 minutes. I probably did 5 minutes of work, but it took me about 15 because I had to go get some more tools. But so project you can do yourself, and you should do it, especially if you're on a well. You should do it because the pollutants in your water clog up the shower heads. If you notice your shower heads have a lower flow, it's very likely because the filters inside are clogged. If you're on public water, especially near new construction, a lot of times when they add new subdivisions to a water supply line, they attach lines, it gets sediment in the line, and that can clog these too. I see that on a lot of home inspections. I'll see the left faucet in the master or primary bath is working fine, but the right faucet is very low flow, and that's the one they use a lot, and it's because there's sediment in the filter. Again, especially around new construction areas. So Hope that helps. Change your shower head. Be safe. Bye.